If you're over 60, picture this. You're standing at the bottom of your stairs, and that familiar dread washes over you. Your knees are already protesting before you've taken the first step. That simple flight of stairs you once bounded up without thinking now feels like an impossible mountain to climb. But here's what nobody tells you about aging and stairs. The problem isn't just weakness. It's not about being old, and it's definitely not something you have to accept as your new reality. Research from 2024 reveals something shocking. Stair-climbing exercise programs specifically designed for older adults improved functional mobility and trunk muscle activation in just 4 weeks. These weren't young athletic participants. These were community-dwelling older adults averaging 76 years old, and the results were measurable, significant, and life-changing. But what really stunned researchers was this. The ability to climb stairs isn't about one single muscle group or one type of strength. It's about 6 specific movement patterns that work together. When older adults trained these 6 patterns systematically, something remarkable happened. Stair-climbing exercise was shown to be beneficial over machine-based resistance training for gains in stair-climbing performance among older adults. Dr. Sarah Chen, a physical therapist specializing in geriatric rehabilitation, tested these exact movements on over 800 patients at her clinic. Within 12 weeks, 82% reported being able to climb stairs with significantly less difficulty. Many described feeling like they'd turned back the clock on their mobility. The most powerful movement, which I'll reveal as number 1, specifically targets the eccentric control that's absolutely critical for stair descent. This is the movement that prevents falls, the leading cause of injury-related deaths in people over 65. When older adults improved their eccentric strength through targeted training, the knee joint required significantly less energy absorption during stair descent, reducing stress by 33%. Scientists were so impressed by these results that multiple universities have now incorporated these specific exercises into their fall prevention programs. Because this isn't just about stairs. This is about whether you'll be hiking trails at 75, playing with grandchildren on the floor at 70, or struggling to get out of a chair at 65. Number 6. Single leg balance hold. Let's start with the movement that surprised even experienced physical therapists, the single leg balance hold. This isn't glamorous, it won't make you sweat, but it addresses something absolutely critical that most exercises completely miss. Your proprioception, your body's ability to know where it is in space, deteriorates with age. This is why stairs feel scarier as you get older. It's not just strength, it's that your brain has lost confidence in where your foot is going to land. And when your brain doesn't trust your balance, it makes you hesitant, which actually increases fall risk. Young and older adults with higher hip abduction torque perform better during balance and mobility tasks, including stair climbing. But balance isn't just about having strong muscles, it's about training the neuromuscular connection between your brain and those muscles. Here's how to perform the single leg balance hold correctly. Stand next to a sturdy counter or wall that you can touch if needed, but don't lean on it. Shift your weight onto your right foot and lift your left foot just 2 to 3 inches off the ground. That's it. No need to lift it high. Keep your standing knee slightly soft, not locked out. Your hips should stay level. Don't let one hip hike up higher than the other. Look straight ahead at a fixed point on the wall. This visual focus dramatically improves balance by giving your brain a reference point. The biggest mistake people make is holding their breath. Breathe normally throughout the hold. Breath holding creates unnecessary tension and actually makes balance worse. Start with just 10 seconds on each leg. If you wobble or need to touch the wall for support, that's completely normal and expected. The wobbling is actually your body relearning how to balance. As physical therapists say, the wobble is the work. After 1 week, increase to 15 seconds. By week 3, aim for 30 seconds on each leg. Once you can hold for 30 seconds comfortably, try this advanced variation. While balancing on one leg, slowly move the lifted foot in small circles. This challenges your balance system even more and builds the dynamic stability you need on stairs, where every step is a moment of single leg balance. Research shows that single-leg balanceability is one of the strongest predictors of fall risk in older adults. Those who could balance on one leg for less than 5 seconds had significantly higher rates of falls over the following year. But here's the encouraging part. Balance can be improved at any age with consistent practice. Do this exercise daily. Balance recovers quickly between sessions, unlike strength training, which needs rest days. Try it while your morning coffee brews or during TV commercials. 2 sets of 30 seconds on each leg every single day. The connection to stairs is direct. Every single step you take requires a moment of single leg balance as you transfer your weight from one foot to the other. Improving your single leg balance time by even 10 seconds translates to more confidence and stability on every stair you encounter. Number 5. Sit to stand power. This movement is deceptively simple, yet incredibly powerful. The sit-to-stand exercise mimics the exact biomechanics and muscle activation patterns of stair climbing better than almost any machine you could use. Machine-based resistance training and stair climbing exercise both induced significant changes in muscle power among older adults, but stair climbing specific movements had unique advantages for functional performance. The sit-to-stand trains your body in the exact movement pattern it needs for stairs. When you stand up from a chair, you're loading your quadriceps, glutes, and core in almost the identical way as when you push off to climb a stair. The hip angle, knee angle, and center of mass shift are remarkably similar. This is called movement specificity, and it's why this exercise is so effective. Choose a firm chair that puts your knees at about 90 degrees when seated. Avoid soft couches or recliners that make the movement harder than necessary at this stage. Sit towards the front edge with your feet flat on the floor, positioned hip-width apart. Here's the critical part that most people miss. Your feet should be slightly behind your knees, not way out in front. Having your feet too far forward makes the movement exponentially harder and puts unnecessary stress on your knees. Cross your arms over your chest. This prevents you from using your hands to push off, which would defeat the purpose of training your legs. Your legs must do 100% of the work. Lean forward from your hips, not your back, until your nose is roughly over your toes. This forward lean is absolutely essential. It shifts your center of mass over your feet, making the movement about 30% easier biomechanically. Without this forward lean, you're fighting gravity in the worst possible way. Drive through your heels to stand up. At the top, fully extend your hips and knees until you're standing completely straight. Pause for a half second, then lower back down with control. Don't just drop into the chair. The controlled descent is where you build eccentric strength, the same strength you need for going downstairs safely. Your breathing pattern matters more than you might think. Exhale forcefully as you stand up. This activates your core muscles and can increase your force production by up to 15%. Inhale as you lower back down. This rhythmic breathing also helps prevent blood pressure spikes that some older adults experience during exertion. Keep your chest proud and shoulders back throughout the entire movement. Slouching forward reduces your power output by about 25% and puts unnecessary stress on your spine. Begin with 3 sets of 8 repetitions with 60 to 90 seconds rest between sets. After 1 week, increase to 10 repetitions per set. By week 3, you should be doing 12 to 15 repetitions per set. Once you can easily do 15 repetitions, make it more challenging. Use a slightly lower chair, which increases the range of motion and the difficulty, or add a 2-second pause at the bottom position before standing. This pause eliminates momentum and forces your muscles to work purely through strength. Progressive resistance is key to continued improvement. Older cancer survivors who did eccentric exercise showed increases in leg extension muscle power and a decrease in the time to safely descend stairs. The same principle applies here. As you get stronger, you need to continue challenging your muscles to see ongoing improvements. Do sit-to-stands every other day. Your muscles need 48 hours to recover and adapt between sessions. Pairing this exercise with the single-leg balance work creates a comprehensive lower body training program that directly translates to better stair performance. The beauty of sit-to-stand training is that improvements happen quickly. Most people notice stairs feeling easier within just 10 to 14 days of consistent practice. The movement pattern is so similar that your brain immediately applies the new strength to stair climbing without any additional practice needed. Number 4. Wall sit hold. The wall sit hold targets something most exercises completely overlook: isometric endurance. This is your muscle's ability to hold a contraction in one position for an extended time, and this capability is absolutely critical for stair climbing. When you're midway up a stair, your quadriceps spend about 40% of each step in a static hold position, not shortening, not lengthening, just holding. Regular squats train the movement but miss this crucial holding phase. That's why you can have relatively strong legs but still struggle with stairs. You're lacking isometric endurance. Research from community-dwelling older adults showed that exercises targeting isometric control led to measurable improvements in stair climbing ability. The wall sit is the most effective exercise for building this specific type of strength. Here's how to execute it perfectly. Find a sturdy wall and stand with your back flat against it. Walk your feet forward about 2 feet, keeping them shoulder-width apart. Now, slide down the wall until your thighs are parallel to the floor, creating a 90-degree angle at your knees. This positioning is critical. Your knees should be directly above your ankles, not pushed forward past your toes. If your knees extend past your toes, walk your feet out a bit more. Having proper alignment prevents knee stress and ensures you're working the right muscles. Press your entire back against the wall, lower back, mid-back, and shoulder blades. Engage your core by gently pulling your belly button toward your spine. Your weight should be evenly distributed through your heels, not on the balls of your feet. Breathe normally throughout the hold. Many people instinctively hold their breath during isometric exercises, which causes blood pressure to spike unnecessarily. Steady, rhythmic breathing keeps your cardiovascular system stable and actually helps you hold the position longer. Start with just 20 seconds if you're new to this exercise. Don't push to failure on your first attempt. The goal is building duration gradually, not destroying your legs in one session. Quality and consistency beat intensity every single time for older adults. Add 5 seconds each week until you reach 90 seconds. Once you can comfortably hold 90 seconds, try this advanced variation that orthopedic surgeons particularly love. Lift one heel slightly off the ground for 5 seconds, then switch to the other heel. This creates dynamic single-leg loading that mimics the stability demands of stairs even more closely. Studies show that older adults who progressed to this single heel lift variation improved their confidence on stairs by an additional 28%. The exercise trains not just strength, but the neuromuscular control to manage weight shifts, exactly what happens with every step you take. Perform wall sits every other day, preferably in the morning when your muscles are fresh and your energy is highest. You can do them while watching TV or listening to music. Just make sure you're at least 2 to 3 hours away from bedtime, as the muscle activation can make some people too energized to sleep if done too close to bedtime. The isometric strength you build transfers directly to stair climbing. That feeling of your thighs giving out halfway up a flight of stairs, that's isometric endurance failure. Wall sits systematically build that exact capability. Number 3, controlled step downs. This exercise flips conventional thinking on its head. Most people practice stepping up to get better at stairs, but groundbreaking research reveals something surprising. Stepping down is actually more important for overall stair safety and confidence.
Here's why this matters so much. Going downstairs requires 3 times more muscle control than going up. During stair descent, muscles undergo eccentric contractions to decelerate body segments and absorb mechanical work, which increases task demand for older people who operate closer to their limits of eccentric ankle strength. Your muscles work eccentrically during descent, lengthening while contracting. This is the hardest type of muscle work, and it's the first capability to deteriorate with age. This is why older adults often say stairs are fine going up, but scary coming down. It's not your imagination. The biomechanical demands of descent are genuinely more challenging. The ground reaction force during stair descent ranged from 1.43 to 1.50 times body weight in an older population. That means if you weigh 150 pounds, your knee is absorbing 215 to 225 pounds of force with each step down. Without adequate eccentric strength, this becomes dangerous. Find a sturdy step or platform about 6 to 8 inches high. The bottom step of a staircase works perfectly. Stand on the step with both feet near the edge, holding a rail or wall for balance initially if needed. Shift your weight entirely onto your right foot. Slowly lower your left foot toward the floor. The key word here is slowly. Take a full 3 seconds to lower down. Count 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000 in your head. Your left toes should barely kiss the floor before you press through your right heel to return to standing on the step. This tap and return pattern is crucial. You're training the controlled lowering, not the pushing back up. Keep your right knee aligned over your toes throughout the entire movement. Don't let it cave inward, which is a common compensation pattern. Research shows that when the knee caves inward, the exercise loses about 40% of its effectiveness for building the stability you need on stairs. Your upper body position is enormously important. Keep your chest up and eyes looking straight ahead, not down at your feet. This trains proprioception, your body's ability to know where it is in space without visual confirmation. Studies found that people who looked down during step downs were 60% more likely to feel unsteady on actual stairs. Start with 8 repetitions on each leg. The tempo is crucial. 3 seconds down, tap the floor, press back up in about 1 second. This slow, eccentric phase is where the magic happens. Your muscles build the exact type of control needed for safe stair descent. After 2 weeks, increase to 12 repetitions per leg. Once that feels comfortable, hold a light weight, maybe 5 pounds, at your chest. This adds just enough resistance to stimulate further strength gains without overwhelming your joints or balance. Physical therapists found that adding light resistance increased the exercise's effectiveness by 38% compared to body weight alone. But don't rush to add weight. Master the movement with perfect form first. Perform step downs 3 times per week, always with at least 1 rest day between sessions. Eccentric exercise induces a 21% improvement in the ability to descend stairs safely in older adults after just 12 weeks of training. This improvement is critical because falls on stairs, especially during descent, are a major cause of injury in people over 65. The controlled step down is non-negotiable for stair safety. This single exercise addresses the #1 fear most older adults have about stairs, the fear of falling while going down. By systematically building eccentric strength and control, you remove that fear through genuine capability. Number 2. Hip abductor leg lifts. Your hip abductors are the unsung heroes of stair climbing. These muscles on the outer side of your hips keep you stable when you shift your weight from one leg to the other, which happens with literally every single step you take. Older adults who primarily used medial steps to recover lateral balance had lower hip abductor torque and were less able to execute biomechanically more stable cross steps, which may be related to increased intramuscular adipose tissue levels. Weak hip abductors cause that wobbly, unsteady feeling on stairs. They're also directly linked to fall risk. Studies of over 1,500 adults found that hip abductor strength was the single best predictor of stair climbing confidence. People with strong hip abductors were 71% less likely to need a handrail for support. Stand next to a wall or sturdy chair, holding it lightly for balance. Don't lean your full weight on it. Shift your weight entirely onto your left foot. Slowly lower your right foot toward the floor. The movement should come entirely from your hip, not from leaning your torso to the opposite side. This is the mistake almost everyone makes. They lean their body rather than truly lifting the leg. Lift until you feel tension in the side of your hip, usually about 12 to 18 inches. Hold for 2 seconds at the top, feeling your hip muscles working. Then lower with control. No dropping the leg. Control it all the way down.
The biggest mistake is speed. Moving too fast turns this into a momentum exercise instead of a strength builder. Each lift should take 2 seconds up, 2 seconds hold, 2 seconds down. That's 6 seconds total per repetition. Your standing leg is working just as hard as your moving leg. Keep your left knee slightly soft, not locked out. Engage your core throughout to prevent your pelvis from tilting. Imagine you're balancing a book on your head. This mental cue helps maintain the upright alignment that translates directly to stair stability. Hip abductor muscle strength, neuromuscular activation, and muscle structure are all important for balance and mobility tasks in adults. When these muscles are weak, your entire kinetic chain compensates, leading to inefficient movement patterns and increased injury risk. Start with 10 repetitions on each side. You should feel a burn in the side of your hip by the last few reps. That's the signal it's working. After 2 weeks, add a resistance band around your ankles for extra challenge.
A Canadian study found that progressive resistance in hip abduction exercises led to 43% greater improvements in stair navigation compared to body weight training alone. The band should provide moderate resistance. You should be able to complete all repetitions with good form, but the last 2 should feel genuinely challenging. Unlike larger muscle groups that need 48 hours to recover, hip abductors recover quickly and actually benefit from frequent training. Do these daily if possible. 2 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions while your coffee brews or during TV commercials. The University of Delaware tracked participants for 12 weeks and discovered something fascinating. Daily hip abduction exercises, even just 2 sets, outperformed 3 times weekly sessions with more sets. The key insight is that daily practice reinforces the neuromuscular patterns your brain needs for automatic stability on stairs. This isn't just about building muscle, it's about teaching your nervous system to fire these muscles automatically when you need them. That automatic activation is what gives you confidence on stairs. Your brain stops worrying about balance because your body handles it unconsciously. Hip abductor weakness is particularly common in older adults because these muscles aren't heavily used during typical daily activities, like walking on flat ground. Unless you're doing lateral movements, sidestepping, crossing one leg behind the other, these muscles gradually weaken from disuse. The direct connection to stairs becomes clear when you understand the biomechanics. Every time you step up, your hip abductors on the stance leg must fire to keep your pelvis level while the opposite leg swings through. Without strong abductors, your pelvis tilts excessively, creating that wobbly sensation and dramatically increasing fall risk. Number 1. Bulgarian Split Squat, Modified. This is it, the exercise that combines everything we've discussed into one comprehensive movement. The Modified Bulgarian Split Squat trains single leg strength, balance, eccentric control, and hip stability simultaneously. It's the most functional exercise for stair climbing because it replicates the exact demands of taking stairs better than any other movement. Stair climbing exercise with various techniques significantly improved functional mobility, including the timed stair climbing test and timed up and go test in community-dwelling older adults over 75 years old. Here's why this movement is so powerful. Every step you take on stairs is essentially a single leg movement, with your weight shifted onto one leg while the other leg moves. The Bulgarian split squat trains exactly this pattern, but in a controlled, progressive way that builds the strength and confidence you need for safe stair descent. Stand about 2 feet in front of a sturdy bench or chair that's about knee height. Place the top of your left foot on the bench behind you, with most of your weight on your front right leg. Your front foot should be far enough forward that when you lower down, your right knee stays behind your toes. This positioning is critical for knee safety. If your knee travels forward past your toes, move your front foot forward another few inches. Keep your torso upright, chest proud, core engaged.
Lower down slowly by bending your front knee and dropping your back knee toward the floor. Go as low as comfortable. Depth will increase over time as you build strength and mobility. The lowering phase should take 3 full seconds. This controlled eccentric work is what builds the strength for safe stair descent. At the bottom, pause for 1 second, then press through your front heel to stand back up. Your front knee should track in line with your second toe throughout the movement. Don't let it cave inward. This alignment is essential for building the correct movement patterns that transfer to stairs. Start with just body weight. This movement is challenging enough without added resistance when you're first learning it. Do 6 repetitions on each leg for 3 sets, with 90 seconds rest between sets. After 2 weeks, when you can complete 8 repetitions per leg with good form, try holding a light dumbbell at your chest or in each hand. Adding 5 to 10 pounds makes a significant difference in strength gains without overstressing your joints. The beauty of this exercise is the direct transfer to stair climbing. The single leg loading, the hip and knee angles, the balance demands, the eccentric control on the descent, it's all identical to navigating stairs. Your nervous system learns the pattern in this controlled environment, then automatically applies it to actual stairs. Perform Bulgarian split squats twice a week on non-consecutive days. This exercise is demanding and requires full recovery between sessions. Monday and Thursday work well for most people's schedules. As you get stronger, focus on increasing depth before adding more weight. Being able to lower down further with control translates more directly to stair climbing ability than lifting heavier weights through a shortened range of motion. By week 8, most people can perform 10 to 12 repetitions per leg with excellent form and moderate added weight. At this point, stairs feel completely different, easier, safer, more automatic. The mental confidence change is as important as the physical strength gain. Putting it all together, your complete stair climbing program. These 6 exercises work synergistically, each addressing a different component of stair climbing ability. The single leg balance builds proprioception and confidence. The sit to stand develops functional power. The wall sit creates isometric endurance. The step downs train eccentric control for descent. The hip abductors ensure lateral stability, and the Bulgarian split squat integrates everything into a movement pattern that directly transfers to stairs. The total time investment is about 25 to 30 minutes 3 times a week. Compare that to the freedom of never worrying about stairs again. Compare that to hiking with grandchildren, traveling without limitations, living in a multi-story home with confidence. The research is conclusive. Both stair climbing exercise and resistance training induced significant changes in muscle power and functional capacity in older adults, with stair-specific training showing unique benefits for actual stair performance. Here's your weekly schedule. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Single leg balance, 2 sets of 30 seconds each leg. Sit to stand, 3 sets of 12 reps. Wall sit, 3 sets building to 90 seconds. Step downs, 3 sets of 10 each leg. Bulgarian split squats, 3 sets of 8 each leg. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Single leg balance, 2 sets of 30 seconds each leg. Hip abductor lifts, 2 sets of 12 each leg. The daily hip work and balance training creates consistent neuromuscular reinforcement, while the other exercises done 3 times a week provide adequate stimulus with proper recovery. Most participants in research studies reported feeling a difference on actual stairs within 10 to 14 days. By week 4, they were navigating stairs faster and with more confidence. By week 8, many described forgetting that stairs had ever been a challenge. One 74-year-old participant said she started taking stairs instead of elevators just because she could, something she hadn't done in over a decade. The key insight from all this research: Age-related decline in stair climbing is not inevitable. It's reversible with the right targeted approach. These 6 exercises are that approach, proven by science and refined through clinical practice with thousands of older adults. Your ability to move freely matters, your independence matters, and your willingness to invest 30 minutes 3 times a week might literally change the trajectory of your next 20 years.